OG. But now it's PSG LGD's turn to be without two of their supports. Seb's going to be back up in 8 seconds.
Oh my god, that buyback from Jerax onto that shrine, being able to save Ana, but Ana also toying with him with that doppel. He set the illusion. They thought that was the real one. They actually couldn't finish him off, even though they got the thirst vision of him for a second.
With the level 25 talent on the doppelganger, it's really hard to kill.
Seb,
Yeah.
he's looking straight for the play. Can he find Somnus? He's hunting. Somnus, he's there, Seb. He'll see him. Oh! Doesn't get the call though, and now Seb. He'll be ruptured. They're looking at him, but Ana, he's straight in on top of Somnus. Somnus puts the BKB. Ana again with the double down. There's a Cataclysm coming out. And Somnus still alive. Ana will be able to force him away. They've got the hex. They've got the control. They're on top of him. Can they kill him in time? They can. Chalice got for 2 minutes. And Seb, he's finding, looking for Arme. Big Daddy No-Tail gets the penitence out. Only onto the illusion though. Arme able to waveform up to the high ground. Arme should be fine here.
Thompson's got the ghost, so he's got Hex
maybe
up soon too.
Oh, the doppelganger Arme's over the trees. Can he hide his way out of this?
No, back, real one.
Goes for the waveform. Seb tries for the call, but he's already out of there. Nice play from Arme.
And he buys so much time too for his team there. The Brewmaster was dead for 120 seconds, now only 90.
Still a big window for OG. They're only without Jerax for the same amount of time. And that lead that PSG LGD had, it is going down a little bit. Only 4K, 5K at the moment with these last few fights. Obviously the 25s now coming out on OG. Thompson's into the pit.
What a timely DD coming out for him too. I don't think they expected to be taken out as fast. He's almost able to solo it with the help of these summons. And that's a refreshing shot. There's no way to get this. There's no way LGD can.
Oh, and the Seb level 25 too. That extra Berserker's Call AoE. It catches people out. They don't expect it.
It does not feel like OG or T-Rex now.
Yeah. The Berserker's Call now is, I mean, the AoE is
massive.
really massive now when you have that talent.
It's so hard to play against. Can PSG LGD do it? They've got the Basher now for Somnus. But just a 2K lead with those last big comeback plays from OG. Still 30 seconds without Chalice.
Double Hex coming out now. Thompson and these 5-second BKBs. Yeah, I mean, they were crushing with their
Thompson's
being spotted out.
got the vision. They're on top of him. Thompson, he's in trouble. The nullifier comes out, but he got the Ghost Walk off as well as the Hex in time. Now, Somnus turns out, the blood runs down. Thompson! He's dead for 100. Has got the buyback available. PSG LGD will certainly look to force it out of them.
FY, just what a Shadow Blade. It just, yeah, as soon as they split up, he finds the perfect opportunity there on Thompson.
You got to be careful going out on the map when FY's alive. There's every chance in the world that he's going to be watching you from the trees.
And at this point, I think for Ame, it's actually going to be very worth it for him to actually just try and burn all the mana from the Fancy Lancer so he can't doppelganger all the time. That's causing huge issues in the team fights. And I see that Chalice is using his Dispel Magic every single cooldown on these Phantom Lancer illusions, but there's still way too many that are causing havoc in this team.
It's too constant. Like that double cooldown being 3 seconds just allows him to always be able to play around a little bit around the brew. They don't really have like this crazy AoE when you look at LGD's lineup to just clear out those illusions. It's really a lot based off them just trickling them down slowly with like the Shivas and the Radiants and knowing exactly which one it is.
Yep, he doesn't have the crit talent. Now he does have crit from that Bloodthorn coming out.
It's a lot of damage that Ana can offer to the fights now.
And Brewmaster without BKB, very vulnerable. Cold Snap, Bloodthorn, Berserker's Call. There's a lot of ways that they can prevent him from getting that ult.
He just commits it from the back, just to be careful.
Make sure that he can get it off and get some damage in onto the tier 3s. Ana's going to start to try and fight against these Primal Split Brewlings. He'll be able to find one of them. He has been silenced. He'll take down the Wind Panda 2 as well by the looks of it. There's only the Earth Panda prevails. Seb jumps and he gets the call onto the Panda, popping the BKB as well, so they won't kill the Brewlings off. They do force PSG LGD away long enough that Thompson does not have to expend his buyback. Thompson back in the game.
And then they're utilizing the PL very well too by replicating him and sending illusions to get some extra damage on the tower. It's just one Rax left that's holding LGD away from Mega Creeps.
They're straight out. They're ready with the aggressive play. OG. Thompson, can he find a catch? He's close to having vision onto X-Nova.
Should be able to find X-Nova. He is stalking him. He got sights of him for a second. He seems a bit far away though.
Oh, the tornado. It's got him. Thompson drops the combo down upon him. The stun comes out though. Oh, the counterplay. Jax is there though with the heal, the tether. Keeping Thompson alive with the Abyssal Blade down. Can they say with the hand of God comes through? Thompson still alive, but Chalice gets the primal split out. He's been stunned. Thompson, the cheese, he's fine. Thompson, he goes down. They get the kill onto the Evoker. No tail. Being chased by Arme. The bash is coming through, but the blade man was already out from Seb. He tries to get the call off. The bash of the Cataclysm isn't enough to find the kills. Anna leading forward. The Bloodthorn onto FY. Gets the kill onto FY. FY buys back straight away. Anna looking towards Somnus again. The doppelganger. Arme on top of Thompson. Thompson being saved by Jax. Jax with the tether. Arme turns into General General. There's the call. Seb, he catches Arme. Arme dead for 2 minutes. The Hex. They've got Somnus as well. Oh, gee. Double kill for Seb. The clutch buybacks coming into play. Nobody has a buyback available right now. As OG stand with 5 alive on the map, 100 seconds without the Morphling.
This Doppel talent is just destroying LGD. They have no way to actually find Ana. Like Ben said, the Brewmaster's constantly using the Dispel, but it's so hard to find the real PL amongst all these illusions in all this chaos of the fights with tornadoes and chaos meters and everything falling all over the place.
And look at this. The tier 3 tower falling. Ana frontlining it all. What's he scared of? The Blood Ride will come out. Chalice with the Shiva's Guard trying to initiate. But Ana, he's poking, prodding, beating down, and on the side, Thompson jumps in. Chalice gets in with the big with the call. Seb, he's got the disable on the Chalice. Do they have the damage? They got on top of the Chalice. He's into the snowball. FY buying time for him, but now he's vulnerable. He's gets Hex. He gets Bloodthorn. Chalice buys back. Straight back into the game. Ana trying to find his attention onto X-Nova. Chalice leading forward. The Tornado going to be off the market. Only catches out the Bloodseeker, but Seb, he's looking for the follow-up. Jumps in, gets the call. The BKB was out in time. The Bananas on top of it. Did they have the damage? Seb's got the blade on FY. With the snowball again. Thompson, Jax focusing the rags. Thompson gets the Hex up onto X-Nova. Seb healed up by Jax. Ana still full health at the moment as the Brewlings are pushed back to the base. OG get the bottom melee racks. As still 30 seconds to play without the Morphling in the game. They move towards the mid lane. OG, can they really get it all here? The mid racks falling. They've taken a full second sets, 15 painful seconds for LGD.
They're gonna keep going. They want to claim their megas.
Another tier 3 falls. OG onto the final set of rags that LGD have left standing. Azana, he gets kicked back. He's separated from the team, but he has the doppelganger. He's been ruptured. He needs help, but he needs it now. Jared in with the tap of the hand of God. Give it that double heal. The relocate as well. Jax gets him out. As OG will successfully disengage before that Morphling's back in, as they found both rags. Jerax will die for this one, almost certainly, as he looks to tether across, but the nullifies upon him. He has buyback though, and OG just took so much away from PSG LGD, as they only have a lone range rack standing on the top lane.
I can't believe this is only 3 racks left in this game. One of them is a range racks on the side of LGD. Buyback status. I saw X that was buyback. It was only like 600 or 700, yeah, which is crazy. But Jerax also kind of in that same net worth territory, looking at a very cheap buyback. But 2 in the game left. IO and the PL. The PL is almost unkillable at this point. Like, even without the Wisp, it's still really difficult. With the Wisp, just don't even try.
We'll see this again. It's a save here from Jerax.
The control is just not there, and they don't have the way to kill all these illusions constantly. And of course, look at Jerax coming in, starts that relocate channel, and is able to get it off. No one gets the control on him.
Keeping it cool at the time that it means the most, but he's still able to crack a smile here in Game 4, the TIA Grand Finals. OG making a stand, now leading 9K advantage in net worth. LD able to join us.
I don't believe they actually have any 4 stabs inside Belgium. That's generally how you deal with a side device. And I think they can get a side device on the core, get a blink call, and that hero is likely dead without buyback at this point. So OG, I would say, definitely favored at this point of the game, especially with PL having buyback. LGD, they have a couple minutes to think about what they want to do before this Rosh.
Yeah, they can't be totally reliant on FY just getting these perfect snowball saves, or even like I saw in the last fight too when it was down bottom. He even tried like Walrus kicking the IO away from when he was tethered from somebody else. They need to find some other ways to be able to save, in particular that Brewmaster, who is just time and time again is the most important hero it does seem for LGD.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what they do with the BKB call. The snowball is the only thing, but they have Bloodthorns, they have Sight Device for the Tusk, they have a lot of things available. Maybe Aeon's is perhaps for Christmas. I'm not exactly sure what the best way for him to deal with it is. It looks like he is going for an Octarine perhaps for almost permanent.
The sentry's down. They see Thompson, but Thompson, he's already quick with the play. The Tornado into EMP, Cold Snap as well. They've got the Hex, but there won't be any further jumping. They just poke at Arme.
They're trying to make space.
They got the Mega Creeps.
That's the distraction play right there.
Up against the Mega Creeps. PSG LGD, it's what stands between them and the championship title here in Game 4.
And they got it right before that wave, before that 59-minute mark too, so we already have the Mega Creep wave coming in, that momentum pushing onto LGD's side.
And you look at their lineup, can PSG LGD's heroes deal with the Mega Creeps? It's hard. They don't really have that sort of incredible D-push or AoE sort of hard hitters to deal with it.
That's kind of what they've been lacking in a lot of this game, right? That's what we've been talking about with the illusions with the PL. They've got ways to find them if it's, or ways to kill them if they find the exact one, but as for doing that, it's very tough when they don't have just the Dispel from Chalice.
And he does too much damage to ignore at this point with the Bloodthorn. And on top of that, Roshan is going to respawn in about 1 minute's time. LGD, I think their buybacks are going to cool down around that time, but I just don't think they can withstand this onslaught. They really want to be able to prevent this Roshan. It's super obvious when there's Mega Creeps. Mega Creeps, that's the luxury that you have. You can just wait a couple of seconds. You know, the creeps will be hitting at your T4s if you wait.
As Ana commits forward, has no boots, but a full Eye of Scotty. 3,800 health now on this PL, who hasn't been dying for a very long time. Now he's got easier ways, easier kill opportunity, and much more survivability.
Yeah, he probably has like maybe 7,000, 8,000 HP effective with the Butterfly evasion, the heal, the overcharge, and the Hand of God is just way too much. And the lifesteal from Shen too. Another ability.
OG. It's clearing out the pit. Very, very soon to be spawning. Roshan and PSG LGD are well aware.
Roshan's up. It looks like only OG knows.
Oh, Arme, Ana. He's losing action. Arme's gonna get caught out by the Tornado though. They've opened up onto him. Arme trying to get on top of Ana. The BKB pop by Challenge. He'll get the ult out. No Tail getting got out straight away by F5 with the snowball. No Tail
Team Liquid's turn to ban.
Get the Chen. Ana in the midst of it, trying to lock down onto it.
Seconds remaining. 5 seconds.
Greetings, everybody. Suns fan here with the one and only Synderen for the Beyond Epic League CIS/EU division. We have Fly to Moon versus Team Liquid for this best of 3. Before we get started, Synderen, do you know when the last time I was on the Beyond the Summit channel was? Can you name it? Please take your time.
Seconds remaining.
Good lord, that was only 3 years ago. What are you talking? DAC, I believe, Synderen. If you remember correctly, I might just be making this up, but the joke is, and probably the reality is, maybe it wasn't DAC, but whatever tournament it was when I was forced to be in a bathtub with Bruno, and they banned the stream. Do you remember this? I was never... I think it might have been my idea, actually, to be perfectly honest, but it did get the channel banned and I was never invited again. Sad days, Synderen. Sad days. That's true. I tricked them. I'm very tricky.
Radiant team ban.
That's right. No. It was not the first one. It was banned because it was me in the bathtub. It was too hideous to be seen to the general public. That's true. It's hard to hide it sometimes, you know? It's out of control. Anywho, back to the series at hand, Synderen. Between Fly to Moon, like we talked about, and Team Liquid, they both are doing very well in their groups, actually. Flight of Moon has 6 points. They're actually undefeated, 2-0 in terms of series. Undefeated in games as well, as 4-0. And then Team Liquid, 7 points, so a 1-point lead, but they did lose a couple games, despite not losing any series.
Team Liquid's turn to pick. Seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team pick.
Shadow Demon.
Seconds remaining. Radiant team pick. Team Queen of Pink.
I mean, having said that, I was looking through a few of their games in the past month or so, and they pick a lot of similar heroes. I think a couple that stand out to me off the top of my head are Lone Druid, which is banned this game for Quakefa, and Vengeful Spirit. Liquid also likes picking that up. That's kind of an oddball. I mean, it's not an oddball necessarily, but compared to what Flight of Moon usually does, it is. Like to couple it with a Luna, but not sure. Obviously, they don't want to do this first phase at all. So it's going to Shadow Demon to start for Team Liquid. Flight of Moon with Queen of Pain, Rubik. Are they? Why are you watching the stream?
Team Liquid's turn to ban.
You look very strict, actually, now that I'm opening the stream myself. It's like you were beaten as a child to make sure you have good posture, and it was just the opposite. I just lived in a hole on the side of the road, you know? It's actually more comfortable, not to sidetrack any more than we are, Cinder, but I actually have an ottoman under, like, it's a footrest essentially underneath my desk, and this is how I literally play all my games. Just leaning back. It's very nice, very enjoyable. I highly recommend. It's good for your back, which is probably not actually. Anywho, Mars is going to be the second pick for Team Liquid. Popular here, one of your favorites actually, if I'm not mistaken, unless you have taken a turn towards the negative towards him.
Ten seconds remaining. Radiant team pick. Remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Team Liquid's turn to pick.
The undying waits.
Flight of Moon responds with I was gonna say, yeah. Tell me, I mean, obviously it's picked for laning stage more than anything. How do you feel this hero is right now? We've had so many discussions in the past how this hero has just been in the dumpster for years. It feels like.
Remaining.
Literal. That's actually decades. I'm gonna go one up that decade. This hero has been garbage. I mean, he's come into the meta, you know, every now and then, comes in and out, but that's more than a okay. I said decades. That's true. That insinuates at least 2 decades. Yeah. Okay. Fine. Early 2000s. 2003. He was introduced for the first time, just making up that year, but that sounds about right for Dota. Of course, his ultimate was different. It used to be a single target spell intended for enemies that amplified damage, Cinder. It has changed very little. Yeah, it's good trivia. Weird hero.
Radiant team pick.
Will there be a Luna follow-up? I have a quick question. Okay, this isn't really a question. It's more of something I wish interacted this way, because I know it doesn't. I'm almost positive it doesn't. When you spear someone, don't you think it should actually work on Tombstone? Tombstone is a physical, it's a building, essentially.
Remaining.
Well, it's a tombstone. It could be a building depending on how small you are, but
5 seconds remaining.
should spear latch onto Tombstone, Cinderin? We need these changes in Dota. Not Plague Ward. Oh, it doesn't work every time on Fissure? Oh, don't get me started on power cogs and changes needed to that spell. Holy jeez, I could talk about that for an hour. Nobody wants to hear that. No, you shouldn't be. Hey, it needs a buff. This hero needs a buff. You can't pass through it, but the counter then. The counter would be tiny because of the siege damage, you see? On buildings. It works on Tombstone. Morphling is going to be the pick. Well, it'll be amplified because of the siege, because it gets turned into a building. That's a balance change that we're discussing, isn't it? Okay. Yes, that's exactly. Tiny is... I mean, we need more Tiny in our lives, let's be real. So they pick Morphling. I assume we're going to see Quap, which is going to be the best cosmetic probably ever introduced into Dota 2, with Morphling the worst model currently in Dota 2. So we're going to see the full discrepancy here, full contrast. Dota 2 has best and worst. Team Liquid, all right. PL, that's a fast way to kill the Tombstone.
Seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Yes, that is true. That would be, I mean, 2 is better than 1. That actually makes Undying a little bit more of a value pick as a result of the Morphling. So tell me, what are you looking for Flight and Moon that would, I mean, again, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm feeling like you're looking at PL, like what do we do with this hero? I mean, it's not like Morphling is necessarily terrible, but I mean, they don't really have a true answer to PL right now, because I assume he goes Manta at some point. So if there's an Orchid or anything like that on Queen of Pain, so it's not really going to be that much of an issue. Like, when I look at this here, I think of Mjolnir, and there's not really a Mjolnir holder on Flight of Moon.
Team Liquid's turn to ban.
I would love to know. I would love to know, Cinder. Please. A Radiance hero, a Mjolnir hero. That's all I can think of, ever. That's true.
Team Liquid's turn to pick.
Yeah, that is a... So what... Is Axe potential here? Is that even good against PL? I mean, it's okay. It feels okay until a certain point of the game, right? I mean, you get Crimson Guard, possibly, for that hero, but...
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah. You get one call and you're done.
Remaining.
I mean, is this... I mean, Liquid is going to be picking first, so Flight of Moon can respond with something. They only have 8 seconds, actually. So this will likely be a... I mean, they could go... Alright, Mirana. We've been seeing a lot of Mirana. Right-click carry. It's pretty flexible in terms of what lanes you can go to, though, right? Does PL play mid in this?
Seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Admiral Kunkka.
Ooh, all right. Kunkka. Very nice. Does not have the Arcana. Unbelievable. I was looking forward to casting my first Lilith. For Quap? Isn't her face usually blue? Look at her skin in general. It's a light blue. All I know, Cinderin, is I'm not saying what you're seeing, but I'm glad that Morphling has some cosmetics to cover up that absolutely atrocious model. So like you said, Iceberg will be playing Kunkka mid. I haven't really seen Kunkka Radiance lately, but is that a possibility this game, considering you're going against a PL, or is that still not a consideration? No, to get Radiance on Kunkka. It's been like a bit since I've seen that. Or Mirana. Mirana does a hard right click these days. So, man, I love these loading screens. It's just a real dream. And then we get blessed with an older one. No, this is a new one. Never mind. They're just not doing anything. Good job, Liquid. The thing I like about Liquid's drafting in general is even though you kind of know what players are playing what, you don't necessarily know what lanes. Like Koikfa probably will go mid on Mirana, but we've seen them switch things up just because a lot of these players have just so much experience. Kind of with these flex picks to a degree. So, I mean, did we talk about the PL Shadow Demon combo, Cinderin? That's going to be kind of dirty. Just getting extra illusions. Oh, yeah. This is a super value Shadow Demon game, though. Sometimes you gotta give something up to get what you want, Cinder. Really wanted Morphling. Looks like V-Tune will be playing mid lane as the Morphling, so
30 seconds.
not be. Well, the Queen of Pain we already talked about being off lane this game for general. But Kunkka Okay, now Kunkka's going. Are they? How are they doing this? Is he just blocking for him and TPing for Flight of Moon?
The battle begins.
I feel better already.
你行，你行，你上，你上。
Okay.
毁天灭地，那毁天灭地，nice！毁天灭地，nice！
Bo3 and company, yeah. Undying is going to go to town with Decay. This is his use in the game is to decay people early and then get copied by Morphling later on for that value second tombstone.
Spare me the tears.
I mean, we didn't really talk about overall lineup, Cinder. Who do you actually, what side do you like this time around?
Deny.
Bo3 is super dead. Oh, another decay in 5 seconds. He is tangoing. I could have sworn V-Tune was going to be in range for that last right click, but it wasn't to be this time. But either way, he's going to chase him off. Not going to expend the other decay, so we'll go back to lane as V-Tune forcing Taiga out as well. Has 2 stacks of Shadow Poison right now. So that is a good start for this lane for Flight of Moon. Bo3 again will continue to take decays. Has 1 mango on Always Wanna Fly. Lane is pushing. Yeah, I guess you could say that. Let's have 12 decay stacks though, so probably tank that up pretty. That will probably be our first blood bottom, but while we have time, let's talk about the mid matchup, which is Quakefa versus Iceberg, Mirana versus Kunkka. How do you like that hero versus hero matchup? Lane, by the way, they are getting very low. The courier is going to be saved thanks to the magic missile. Insania taking heavy damage. Fable not enough to actually get the kill on Insania. Mickey is forced to use a salve in the meantime. A very close double kill there, but Liquid gets out with the sliver of HP. Lights. Bottom lane, Always Wanna Fly, getting a little bit low here. Disruption on to the Morphling, into the spear, into the trees. Oh! Damage, Soul Catcher. Not even needed, actually. Doesn't even have that leveled right now. He just blew up. Enough Shadow Poisons. Always Wanna Fly. My goodness. Miscalculated that perhaps, or just wanted a free trip back to the fountain. To some cultures, death is free. Oh, Morphling jumps in onto Bo3. He's gonna get speared again into the trees. To continue the pressure though, but looks like Liquid is very happy with this exchange. But there's the Soul Rip. Getting V-Tune back to a nice state. not have waveform for another 3 seconds. Oh yeah. Went in, all agi. Good to go. That cost him. Looking at the CS right now, Kunkka is leading the way, 35-4. Mirana not too far behind, so relatively even mid lane. Iceberg, of course, having the advantage of being able to X marks himself back into the fountain repeatedly, which I think he's done at least once, maybe twice.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Arrow will take out the siege creep mid. We have another go on morph, huh? Yeah, 4 stacks right now, so. A little bit. He's up to strength. Wannafly just continuing the pressure though, trying to make as much space for the morph right now. V-Tune sitting on 27 and 10 CS versus the PL, which is 35 and 8. So obviously Liquid getting the better exchange in that, despite kind of being on the back end in that top lane for a bit. It's like, I don't know. Okay, Tombstone placed. Always Wannafly with 3 stacks of Shadow Poison. Boxy taking heavy damage in turn, but it looks like Always Wannafly knows that he will die one way or the other. Question is, will there be an actual trade? Taiga looks like he'll live. No waveform for another 5 seconds. So again, better exchange here for Team Liquid.
Of course.
I don't think he needs to. He's got Scream up in just a moment. Just needs some vision. And down he goes eventually. General, though, is leveling quite nicely. Like you said, level 6 already has that Sonic Wave. So out-leveling the carry on Liquid. A lot of that, of course, has to do with Aloha Dance not really being in range for some of these big waves. But looking at Iceberg, I mean, no big surprise here. Actually, is Treads normal? I thought he was Phase Boots is the norm. His Phase Boots queued up, but...
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's structures are fortified.
Regeneration.
Torrent does connect on Insania in the mid lane. It'll be X marks back. Just a couple more right clicks. And don't ever say that again. Sploosh? Seriously? This is a PG stream, Cinderin. Okay?
You get knocked.
You can say splash. Say it with me. Splash. You're asking the wrong guy. I never played that game in my life. You're probably right, though. I mean, you're usually right in these scenarios, so just assume the best for yourself. But yeah, going back, I know. I actually still remember the first time you corrected me about something that I was horribly wrong on, and it was the spelling of breathe. For some reason, yeah. But it wasn't my fault because my teacher taught me that, Cinderin, okay? I vividly remember, unless it was a dream. Maybe life in general is a dream. Yes, that's what Americans love to do, sue for literally no reason. General TPs to the bot lane, does have Sonic Wave available, but reinforcements smoked for Liquid are here. Little do they know, Bop has actually backed off, surprisingly enough. Not sure what that's all about. We're gonna see a disruption into the spear, onto the morph. Tombstone is down. Morphling taking heavy damage. Looks like he might live 3 stacks of Shadow Poison right now. As Insania, looks like we're gonna have some TP support now from Iceberg himself. Koifa with plenty of leaps to get out to safety. General actually pumping his Sonic Wave, but not able to go through with it. We'll use it here. He'll find the Mirana first. Not able to kill anybody with that, but Iceberg, a nice cleave, taking out a second hero now. Finally, Bo3 finds something with his rebuke, but it's a 3-for-1 triple kill for Iceberg.
Dire's bottom tower.
Really good rotation.
Extra count.
General. Yeah, General, not much mana.
Illusion.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
He is splooshing all over the place. Cinder and Iceberg, double bracer like we talked about. Very close to Sacred Relic, which of course means that he will be going for Rapier. Just kidding, it's Radiance. But very good against PL. If he can get that really quick, snowball him for sure.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
X into Torrent. He does have 2 leaps available, so we'll be good to go. Has support from Bo3 as well. But this is enough space for Iceberg to take out the tier 1 tower, so he'll be very happy with that. I want to talk a little bit about Mirana because, as you know, I haven't been casting as much lately. Bottom lane, though, General. 4 stacks of Shadow Poison. Is that enough? How much damage is that? No, he should be fine. 130 HP. This item build on Mirana, we talked about it, how these days we're seeing a lot of just rush of MKB, and it looks like exactly what Koifa is going for. What is the reasoning for that over like some of the old items?
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's current has been killed.
Top lane, by the way, Insania gets blown up.
Dire's
But
top tower is
there was a
under
trade for a
attack.
tier 1 bot. Nobody was there for Flighten to defend. We haven't really talked much about Mickey, right? PL. He is closing in on his defusal. So the worst time we've been looking at Iceberg, he is very close to finishing Radiance now. Mid lane, we're going to see some TPs. X marks the spot. Bo3 is going to take the brunt of this damage in the form of the Shark. Into the Torrent now. Not sure they can actually get the kill. Good cleave, but
Dire's top tower is under
just
attack.
gets speared across the map. Looks like that'll break things up. Definitely looking good right now. How important is it for them to start fighting once the Radiance is online? Or does that just accelerate your farm even more and you try to take more farm on that? I mean, you have the, like you talked about, the Necro 1 on General. So we'll be farming the jungle and pushing out. What's that? Well,
Then
might get a courier if they want to show themselves. They do not.
你上你上。
And they might not even get a kill if does have Ghost Scepter right now. He's going to run into Mars. The spear completely misses though. Waveform has not expended his TP. Arrow misses as well. He is completely surrounded, and that is a very ambitious TP. Will get canceled. V-Tune does have another waveform though. This is going to take a while. 4 stacks of Shadow Poison and 1 last right click. So they do find it. You know, obviously we can see everything. If he waveform TP'd, he's out of there, right? But I was not expecting that. X marks Shark, but Disruption does cancel it. Nicely played overall. There's the spear onto the Kunkka. Does have the Radiance online now, by the way. The Tombstone decimated in quick succession. Now Iceberg on the run has 5 stacks of Shadow Poison. He's gonna get healed up a huge cleave as Insania is gonna get turned around on. It's gonna be a trade. Venge for Undying. So not exactly what either team was looking for, but at least no force died. Is this a reference to me talking about that stupid... Okay, good.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Oh, I didn't even notice. So I guess we're both at fault. I mean, I stand by what I said, though. It's one of the few, maybe Terrorblade is another one, heroes where his ultimate just doesn't feel like an ultimate. More like Tombstone is. General. It's more situational than meta, though. Meta is like God tier. That is a normal ultimate, wouldn't you say? But of course... Well, Cinderin, let's be real. Terrorblade, it used to be his ultimate. It's actually flip-flopped, I believe, 4 times literally in the past 15 years. I am... well, Dota 2, that's true. But I promise you it changed like 3 or 4 times.
Dire are scanning.
Yeah. No, of course. Sunder used to be Life Leech as well. It used to be completely different. Yeah, that was great. It was like a little Pugna leech while you run away. Oh, perfect timing for... They know we're talking about old concepts here, so this is a perfect pause. Thank you, whoever paused. I need to look this up now. You know, chair definitely did not exist before that. At least it wasn't patented, right? That's for sure. It's all about the patents. That's how Apple survives every day, Cinder, is taking other people's ideas and patenting them. No. All right, let's do some item updates while we wait. V-Tune, as we know, is going for the E-Blade. Still a decent a ways away, about, it's only 1100 actually for that Eagle song to finish that bad boy up. Do you think that's the item timing that they're waiting for, or is it, I guess, the combination of that and Iceberg's BKB, probably the next big power spikes?
Dire's courier has been killed.
right now. He does have the hood, I believe. Actually, the courier was killed with the hood on it, if I'm not mistaken, yeah. I'll have to wait on that. Basically, I'm assuming that's just because of the shotgun morph, not wanting to be just blown up in every single scenario. But by the time these items come online for Flight of Moon, Quickfoot will have that MKB. As bottom lane, always want to fly. Looks like he'll find his way to... Ooh. Wow. Well, Undying does have a large model. Does that count for
你
anything?
行你行你上你上。
It's a big kill. It's true. He needs the ulti to have a big one.
Radiant's top tower is under
It's
attack.
actually salving,
Radiant
but
structures are
we'll go
fortified.
down eventually. Oh, wasting as much time as possible. He's doing a wonderful job at that. V2 will claim it first.
Radiant's top tower.
But all in
has
this
fallen.
while, Cinder and tier 1 top.
Radiant's
Yeah,
courier
and a courier.
has been killed.
Ooh, whose courier was that?
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Could be Mars ult on top of Kunkka right now. Arrow's going to completely with actually that was stolen from Aloha Dance. Looks like the Mars ult was used to very little avail as he's going to now be turned around, and that's going to be an easy one for Flight of Moon. By the way, that courier that was killed was V-Tunes, but he did not buy the Eagle song with it, so has to go purchase that manually. Does have enough to do that now. Moonlight Shadow, they see him. Arrow misses again, but yeah, he's done.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Worthy tribute.
Damage.
The Arrow is, even though he hasn't hit these, it's a really good pickup, especially with the Aether Lens. Telekinesis into Arrow every single time if you want. Range is not even with Aether Lens. Disruption in the mid lane. Aloha Dance looks like he's going to say goodbye to his... Oh, the swap onto Iceberg. He's going to use his boat immediately. That means he's virtually unkillable, at least for this duration. Find the Undying again on the backside. Very sloppy play from Flight of Moon. Iceberg stunned up next to the tier 1 tower. Is going to get initiated on by Mickey with that diffusal blade, and they will melt through him and will likely get this tier 1 tower as well. So just death after death, one by one from Flight of Moon.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. He's had money for it for like 2 minutes now.
Dire are scanning.
We are coin.
Oh, top lane, the blink out from Boxy. My goodness. If only Undying came with a stun, he could do something about this, but he will decay and run away in shame, knowing that he picked Undying. Five-man smoke as well. Okay, very close to finishing the Manta style. It's gonna be a Moonlight Shadow now. They want a bigger kill than this Undying, but they'll find him. And they'll have to be happy with that.
Radiant are scanning.
I mean, we talked about the talk about the item timing. So the E-Blade obviously online. Kunkka just got his BKB, so that should be the going point here. Yes, greaves are finished, although General is not really close to this smoke gank. He ends up... Looks like telekinesis. Oh, nice disruption. Always want to fly. He's going to pop his ult. Do you notice it? No, because E-Blade does enough damage, Cinderin. Morphling is too good. They're going to continue on. Always want to fly. He's going to get stunned up. Okay. Doppelgang's up. Diffusing all that mana. Has his Manta style now online. X marks the spot into the boat. Doppelganger in just a moment. He's going to get stunned up. Takes very little damage. Doppelgang's out. Looks like the Mars ult is going to be used to very little effect here. It's Iceberg BKB showing that off for the first time. Mirana is the only death in this fight thus far. With very little mana on the side of Fly the Moon. Iceberg is basically it. Always want to fly. Looks like he's going to sacrifice his body for the betterment of society. And it looks like Iceberg is next on the list. So Liquid coming out on top, a 2-for-1 as they will continue to chase. Looks like V-Tune will probably get out as the Blink already spin. Oh!
Tower is under attack.
That tickled me. on Voxy? Oh, they're gonna get a Roche. I think they're pretty happy with that exchange. Aegis likely on PL. Yeah, that should be a nice juicy pickup for him. It's that regen, negative regen, Cinder against Undying. Oh my god, that's so good. That too. I should have said that first. Oh, Mirana bottom lane. All right. That was way too easy. I mean, he doesn't have BKB yet, of course, so he's susceptible. I'm not sure if that would have mattered in that case, though. The initiation from Aloha Dance, very nice. I mean, right now, Mirana is not feeling like your second carry, as it were, right? As you typically would see. It's basically PL is monstrous, and then there's everybody else on the team, kind of there. But I think the downfall of Fly the Moon so far, of course, it's not out of reach yet, since they are still technically winning on net worth perspective, but they gave up those 3 kills one by one, which turned into a tier 1 tower, and then the next big fight after that was the Roshan fight. So, kind of a big turnaround. Oh, they're going to find him. And the Mars ult used to take out Undying, so that's 2 supports easily cleaned up. PL is now on a killing streak. Tell by the very glowy figure.
Follow me!
Undying just found his item, Cinder, a craggy coat. It's what he's always wanted in life. Armor. He found it in the jungle. Well, somebody found it in the jungle. I don't know what they're doing with it yet. Maybe it's not. Maybe he doesn't even want it. Oh, it's on. Yeah, okay. Looks like Shadow Demon's going to save him for now. Sonic Wave into 3 heroes as the Mars ult commences. Morphling getting very low. This will be a huge kill, and it starts off with just that trade that Liquid was wanting, as a Tombstone will be taken out very quickly, so it's a 2-for-1. Undying Morph for Venge. They'll take that any day of the week.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
No Aether Lens for Shadow Demon. Does have the cast range town, but it's only 75, so... Of course, once he gets his Blink Dagger, which will be very shortly, he'll be able to make things like that much easier. Titan Sliver now. Picked up for Flight of Moon. That's a really good Morphling item. Holy crap. The X onto Boxy, but there's a disruption again. These disruptions have been on point for Taiga. He's gonna get swapped by Insania. Look, they're gonna try to turn this around onto the Queen of Pain, who's pinned into the arena, into the arrow. No chance to do anything. Always want to fly, always want to die, more like it. A 2-for-0. This is just snowballing out of control for Liquid, Cinderin.
Yep. It's a great position on the map for them to play with their Aegis advantage as well. Getting up here as Radiant in general is very difficult. But when you're also fighting into Aegis, when the enemy team's out, oh no, they're gonna lose a low dance as well. They're just hemorrhaging kills.
The 1-by-1 save your friend syndrome. Sounds like the Aegis has been taken back from Roche, but it matters not. Another support kill and another tower, more than likely.
It kind of feels like Flight of Moon just lost focus a little bit at one point. It's almost like it happened right after the pause, basically. We had this short pause for like 30 seconds, and then since then it's been going a bit downhill. I'm not going to blame the pause, though. It's not the point.
I think they were listening to the stream on delay, of course, and they were just so shocked during the pause about our revelations about Terrorblade and his history in Dota. I mean, he used to be the brother of Anti-Mage. That's no longer as well. That's another thing we could have brought up. And it just completely changed their mindset, Cinder, and it blew their mind.
The prize is mine.
Now they're playing
so
much worse.
Because he is not the brother anymore, we needed the new female Anti-Mage disciple, so that's right. Anti-Mage has somebody for his narrative. So that's good.
I wonder if part of that lore would be Terrorblade's sister. That would be actually a great nod to Dota 1. It's always want to fly through the sky again. Tombstone taken out very quickly.
She was an agent all along. Terror was like, go get trained by AM.
I wish I
like
knew more
it.
about lore.
That's some medieval times espionage.
Alright, tell me, I understand that Netherstrahl is really... I guess I understand. I mean, 25% magic resist is huge, 8% spell damage is great, and the minus armor makes literally no difference on the hero like Morphling.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
I guess in any other game, Titan Silver would be the choice in that case, right? It's on Kunkka right now, but that, I feel like percentage-based items, percentage-based anything on Morphling.
Radiant's
God tier.
Yeah, I don't know if the shawl is better than Paladin Sword at this point, to be honest. Like, what's the big magic burst you're scared of? No, over the shawl, because they have a Paladin Sword too, right? He's going to take Quickening Charm. No, wait, it's going to somebody else. Sliver on Kunkka versus Morph. It's very good on both. I get what you mean, because when Morph has a lot of agility, obviously the base damage increase is insane from the Sliver, but maybe the status resistance here, the expectation is that Kunkka will be taking more stuns and Morph will be playing around them a bit better because of mobility. With his BKB now finished, could be a chance here, but it's definitely looking very grim. Liquid in firm control of the game, with or without Aegis. PL now has Scotty. They need to get through 3,000 HP, and they have a dead low dance again.
He's literally surrounded. Jesus. Yep. Disruption plus PL on the other side, you have no escape.
Radiant's middle tower
doesn't have a force or anything like that, just has the Blink Dagger, so ultra aggressive in terms of item builds.
Radiant's middle tower.
That is a tier 2 tower for Liquid, as here we go again. Alright, let's do some more Dota 2 trivia. If you're listening, Fly the Moon, maybe you can reverse your fortune by hearing some amazing Dota 1 mechanics that have changed. Let's see if I can think of one. Hold on. I'm just looking at the heroes in the game, how they changed since Dota 1. We already talked about Undying to death. Morphling's not interesting. He was basically the same. I mean, he was similar from original Dota 2.
In Dota 1, Kunkka could only Tidebringer enemy creeps. In Dota 2, at one point he could Tidebringer denies, and then he couldn't anymore. Or was that the whole time? How long was it? Was it he couldn't, then he could, then he couldn't? Or was it he could the whole time until he couldn't?
There's too many options, Cinderin. I don't even
Could you deny with Tidebringer all the Dota 2 history until it got removed?
I remember Dota 1 for sure. You could do that. Dota 2.
So there's a difference there.
I feel like yeah, beginning of Dota 2, you could do that as well. I guess that's probably fair.
Yeah.
What did PL's skill used to be before Doppelganger? Was it like just his ult and juxtapose were
he had
separated into multiple skills?
He had the ult. Was it his second spell? Wasn't that one called Juxtapose, where he just became invisible and spawned one illusion?
Oh yeah, that was so bad.
Was that what it was called? Was that called Juxtapose? No, it wasn't, right?
No, I don't even think it was called Doppelganger.
Was it called?
Maybe it was.
No, I don't remember. It's had different iterations, actually. I think there's even been another iteration.
But he didn't have Phantom Rush. That was a passive as well. Think. Some sort of passive.
Yeah, he had something else than Phantom Rush as well. Man, that hero has actually been changed quite a lot.
I don't even remember.
But in Dota 1, Mars was one of the trees in the forest, and now he's a hero.
What? I mean, he was one of the trees in the forest. Like in the top left?
No, yeah, he was just one of the trees. There was a tree on the map called Mars, if you moused over it.
Are you trolling me?
No.
You're trolling me. That doesn't even make any sense.
To be a change in the game, right? Or I can't just, I'm not going to be talking about a change if I say in Dota 1 it wasn't there and now it is.
Yeah, Mars was not a hero in Dota 1. I don't know if you guys know this. That is trivia number 2 today. So you can use that on your friends. Alright, what else we got? There's got to be some interesting ones. Venge, I feel like very little. Here's a great trivia. Talents were not a thing in Dota 1. I don't know if you guys know this.
Including on Venge.
Yes, Venge did not have talents either, in addition to no talents being in.
Vengeance aura used to only be damage. Now it's primary attribute and attack range.
That's very recent though.
Venge used to not spawn illusion when she died.
These are actually way worse than I
Nether Swap used to have 1 charge.
Venge used to be fun to play. How about stuff like that? PL has always
about a lot of heroes this patch.
PL has always been an absolute piece of garbage to play against. That has never changed. Which is unfortunate, but is cool. Alright, here's some trivia. Shadow Demon, when first introduced in Dota 1, was a mid hero. Played mid competitively. What do you remember about him?
Shadow Demon mid?
Yeah.
What do I remember about him? He had the same spells, pretty much. What do you mean?
Why was he mid? That's what I'm asking.
I don't know.
God, you're supposed to be the analyst. Alright, I'll play the analyst. He was mid because people were really bad back then and they didn't know
what
that's
great analysis. I should have definitely.
That's why Lion was mid, Lich was mid, Shadow Demon mid. Guys, just think about how god-awful that was to play.
We're being corrected by chat. They obviously have delay. The PL second spell is called Double Walk.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, good call, guys. That is true.
Yeah, I totally forgot that because, like everybody else except 5 people, I hated the hero, so I didn't really play it.
Did you guys know that Shadow Walk was on several heroes, and it was also called Shadow Walk on every hero? Gondar, Clinks, and I think one more. Probably. Taiga is gonna find a disruption here into the air, but no, Victor pops the BKB. That is I believe, 10 seconds, indeed.
I think it's impossible. This is one of those mechanics, right, where if you get disrupted and there's an arrow on top of you, you can still BKB if you mash it. I think you get it off every time, even if the arrow is perfect. So, V-Tune getting out there because of that. But yeah, they forced the BKB, which is obviously great. 10-seconder, like you said, and Roche is up. So maybe this prompts Liquid to, if not go for Roche, then start playing in the area with the smoke and look for a kill. Insania already has it ready. He's pushing out mid. By the way, has a lot of net worth for a 5. We haven't really talked about that this game, but he has Helm of the Dominator and Vlad's for his team, 2 insane auras, and a wolf creep. So he's a huge boon for his squad. Even if he dies, he does so much.
We have a smoke
that's
here.
Something
Flight
that
of Moon is somewhat baiting, but it looks like nothing will come of that initially. Basher now online for McKay. So he, well, I say online, it's on his courier, so it's being delivered right now. But he is looking virtually unkillable. Once this Abyssal comes up, which I assume that's what he'll upgrade next.
Yeah.
Good lord.
Abyssal, AC on the Mars. So Liquid have so many auras, right? Wolf aura, Vlad's aura, the Dawn.
Oh, we're gonna have the Mars ult.
Oh, they got the opening.
Opening kill potentially. It doesn't even have Radiance on right now. It's still disabled from that gank attempt. Iceberg getting extremely low. Might get out swapped back into death, but nope. Soul Rip will keep him healthy for now, but finally goes down. That is a huge kill to start this fight. Looks like E-Blade was not enough to get an actual kill. Double kill for Koikfa as we have another pause. So back to trivia we go. Did you guys know in Dota 1 that Roshan had the Aegis, of course, but you could also buy the Aegis? No, wait, he dropped cheese.
He didn't have Aegis.
He dropped cheese, right?
He didn't drop cheese either.
Oh, like he didn't drop any?
Cheese didn't exist. There was a version where you could buy Aegis, and it came with 3 charges, and it gave armor and magic resist, and it was undroppable. So when it ran out of charges, you just had a dead inventory slot with armor and magic resist.
Wait, what did Roshan
And then if you bought a second one, he didn't drop anything. He gave 800 gold per player in the killing team. He was worth 4k gold, but he was really strong.
Wow, I don't even remember.
Yeah, Aegis got introduced later, and then the bounty, I think, of Roche was, I think in the same patch, Roche's bounty was reduced to, I want to say 200 per player, but it might still have been a bit more, and then cheese came later. That's how I remember it, at least. But
all right, another trivia. In Heroes of Newerth, Cinderin, never mind. As we're going to be unpausing here, always want to fly. Looks like he's probably going to go down here.
Yep.
So it's a 3-for-1, and all Liquid lost was a Vengeful Spirit. Koikfa with that double damage, so Roche will likely fall now next.
I think I can finish your thing from before about, you called it Shadow Walk, right? It was called Windwalk in Dota 1, but
yep.
Bounty Hunter had it. What was the other one you said? Clinks had it. Shadow Blade, called Lothar's, but I think the ability was called Windwalk. And I think the Brewmaster ulti, Storm Panda, also had Windwalk. So it was four things called Windwalk in the game.
That's right. I don't know why I said Shadow Walk. You're right. It was Windwalk. I mean, that was from Warcraft 3, though. I believe whoever the Juggernaut character was, original Warcraft 3 hero, that had Windwalk, I believe.
Yeah, true. Oh, that's not a good TP. He has to cancel that one on Rubik. Oh boy.
And
he has to walk all the way from top. Oh no.
Yeah. Well, that will cost them at the very least a tower, although I don't know if his presence would have made a difference. And it's going to be a free racks, essentially.
Yeah, they're going to keep going. They have Aegis cheese, all their auras. Koikfa even backpacking the cheese instead of an empty bottle. That's a manly play. That's a hardcore play.
Yeah. In Dota 1, there didn't used to be bottle until much later in the game. Yeah. Very good trivia during the game. You guys like during game trivia? As long as he's probably going to take the brunt of the damage from Mickey. Still has the Aegis intact, and there's the Basher going to town on him. Does get slowed enough for him to back up, but of course this is a second racks at the end of the day.
Oh, nice spear.
Oh, nice spear into the tree. They're going to go onto this Morphling. It's going to be close when the close comes in. It does connect at the last second, but he is finally taken out. Does have buyback if he wants to use it. Aegis has been expended. A trade Liquid will take. No doubt about it. That is a second racks, and GG is called for game 1 of this best of 3 between Liquid and Aplaga.
And now we have to see going into game 2 how Flight of Moon adjusts, right? I like talking about this when there's a team that's lossless in a tournament. Like, you won 2 series against good teams, you 2-0'd them both. Now you lost. How do you adapt? Like, is it because
He's found himself No-Tail out on his own.
He's trapped him.
There's No-Tail. Is he going to get any sort of backup? No, he's not. There's 3 still dead on OG. It'll be a slow and painful death here for No-Tail as Arme comes in for the kill secure.
And I love the way that Chalice popped his BKB super early in that fight. He's I just need to get my ulti off, and he cast it at a very safe range. He didn't wait for the last second of his BKB. He's not very greedy. I think that's a lot of the reason why they've been winning these team fights. Seb has been struggling, still about 1,000 gold away from his BKB.
Yeah, this Brewmaster is a display of perfection, really. It's the highest level in the game with his Bloodseekers.
And doing a ton of damage. One of the most damage in the game as an offlaner.
Now has full Shiva, so even more ways. He's pretty much itemized entirely just to be like, Ana, I'm ruining your game. I've got Radiance, I've got Shivas. You're going to struggle so much in these fights as Phantom Lancer.
Eric's did his best to keep Ana alive, but Ana wasn't able to do damage because of his rupture. He wasn't that low on HP, but still can't run around.
Oh, Seb.
Oh, I'm just going to need this here.
Got to be
Watch
careful who
Jerax.
shows up top. Indeed, Jerax is going out on his own. He doesn't expect Arme to have this invis rune. As Arme will show himself, Jerax goes across, but Somnus is there.
Somnus is not messing without rupturing.
No mercy. They're feeling very confident now at this point, getting these very advantageous team fights as well as getting kills on the split push too. Thompson though, we'll find X-Nova.
Seb, and as well, between the two of them, they'll take down the support edge. FY's going to come in though. He hasn't got anyone else with him at the moment. It is just FY, so just playing around with Seb.
There's no help around at all, and he's still just making Seb's life miserable.
He's toying with him. He's just making him not be able to come back. Look, they're already starting to rotate this Brewmaster and Bloodseeker too, and FY, he's ready to look for Seb.
Seb's got to get out.
Oh, Seb.
As indeed FY, the patience keeping that control on Seb, buying time for Chalice to come in. Ana is going to look towards the Tusk. Chalice is now there, does have Primal Split available if he wants to look to take this fight. Somnus coming in as well. As Ana, Seb look to hide in the trees. Can they get out of it? Ana's got a TP available. He's into the trees. He's going to show himself in the lane though. They're going to continue to head over. They are going to see Seb make it out in time. They don't have a stun. Ana, can he get out as well? He can. OG will avoid that rotation from PSG LGD.
FY is just so obnoxious there, following Seb for over a minute, just stalking him, trying to have his team come over.
So that's about, a minute without Aegis being used for LGD. They have 2 minutes left, I would say, to capitalize on this Aegis. Oh man, looks like he is level 50.
Pretty much back to a 50-50. PSG LGD 2-1 up at the moment in this best of 5 grand finals. 1 game needed to secure the championship title. And at this point, they are ahead here in game 4.
No-Tail hasn't had time to gather a full army of Ancient Creeks. Right now, he just has the Ancient Black Dragon. You really want those other auras when you're at a big disadvantage in these team fights already.
Yeah, it's tough though, because Jerax doesn't want to be following around his Chad, giving him the agony. So. As Thompson, he does have a Lincoln Sphere picked up, and they should have the BKB finished on Seb too. So that'll give him a little bit easier time to get those Blink Causos as he's been suffering to do so in the last few fights. And Somnus, I have Scotty picked up, about to be level 25 as well.
Yeah, they just need a couple more minutes on the side of OG before they're ready to fight. Wait for the Aegis to expire.
Seb, he's in, gets to call the characters, but again FY, there with the snowball save. He's going to be fine, and now they turn to look towards the axe. The taunt's going to be out. Seb goes for the TP. They've got the stun to cancel though. Seb held back for now. Thompson trying to offer his best from the side to provide some sort of safety, as he will get Seb back. They're able to get Seb back to safety, and Thompson is running away. X-Nova's there with the wraparound, gets the slow off, gives the vision for the snowball. TP from No-Tail's coming in towards the shrine, but Thompson, he's trapped.
That's twice in the series that X-Nova just comes out of nowhere. Like, he's just on a warding expedition, then he just ends up wrapping behind these people constantly.
Perfect time.
Perfect timing, and has the Senton creep to boot. And look at these deep wards that he's placed during that time that he was running around doing so. He now has full vision of OG. Yeah, he sees Ana farming these Ancients right now.
Oh, Ana. FY just giving so much information for the team. He's got eyes on him. Get the punch on the wrong target, but the snowball pass will catch Ana. Ana, he's in trouble. The blood bright silence connects. He's got the Manta back up in a second, but can he really play his way out of this one? He cannot. Ana down for a minute and a half.
Just having all this vision. X-Nova throughout this whole tournament has had the best vision in every situation, even when you wouldn't expect it. They're just like, oh, they're fighting on the left side. They're not gonna have vision over here. But no, Xnova always seems to have those prepared in every situation.
And he has some incredible foresight to be able to have these wars that just lead to really clutch pickoffs. And Axe has not spent his money on BKB. He has the money, but he might be looking to save for buyback.
We'll see if any of the buybacks do get forced out. Thompson's still dead for 15. Ideally, he doesn't buy back here. They may have to buy back on Ana. He's gone for 50 seconds. The split coming out from Chalice. He's ready to push in, look for the stun on No-Tail to hold back the Chen. As the mid-racks are exposed, PSG LGD, 40 minutes in, able to open into the base and clean out this mid lane of racks. Still Ana holding on to that buyback.
And they're gonna keep going here. They really want to force this PL to come back here.
Stun onto Thompson. He will blink dodge it. But another tier 3 tower falling incredibly fast. They really don't want to use it. Seb jumps in, gets the call onto FY. There's the buyback. The Cataclysm isn't enough to do anything. It isn't. PSG LGD still fighting strong. Thompson getting focused by Somnus. Seb taken down by Arme. The triple buybacks now out as Ana in trouble. He's pulled back for this one. The deafening blast onto the three of them. Knocks them back, but Ana gets focused. Seb! He's in with the call. He has the control onto the morphing Somnus. Now being chased by Thompson. Blinks in with the cold snap. The PL army's on top of it. They get Somnus too. As OG, they have to expend 3 buybacks, but they hold on to the top rack. Somnus now down for 2 minutes. No buyback available on this Bloodseeker.
Yeah, he's 400 gold short of it. It's up in about 8 seconds. OG, they have to make so much happen here. They have to push out all their lanes. 2 of the side lanes are already gone, but I think trying to get some kills here, like on FY here, would be very ideal.
I mean, look how close the Brew is at 25. I mean,
So close.
With that primal split cooldown.
Oh, Thompson, he sees it FY. He's used the snowball, he turns with the combo FY with the self-fuels, but OG, they've surrounded him. Seb jumps in with the call, the blade mail, FY's gone.
Instant buyback from FY.
Still that scary, scary time for LGD. 75 seconds without Somnus. OG have the full 5-man pushing in all 3 lanes at the same time as they approach LGD's base.
I don't even know if I give a head for this team fight. The LGD are goal, but no blood take up to 60 seconds. This could be disastrous.
He's got a full BKB on Seb as well.
Chalice really wants to hit level 25 before he pops that primal split. So close.
Just got to be careful, Seb. Looking for that blink initiation.
Chalice is stepping back. Grabs, they give him the tome. He needed like 5 experience and they gave him the tome just to make sure that he gets it anyway. Just playing as safe as possible here.
Looks like OG don't feel that the window is big enough for them to push in whilst this Bloodseeker's still dead. They'll back away.
They can't count. They bought back 3 heroes. They weren't able to get any T30s, and there's no Roshan up yet. Big Daddy No-Tail's praying for a Roche right now so they can get that refresher, but it's not going to be up. And maybe we'll dodge a bullet.
At least they got a good amount of economy off that, right?
Yep.
It was up to a 15k gold advantage, and they chunked it down to 7. Same thing with experience. So they did get quite a lot out of that one, but they ideally wanted to get at least one of those sets of racks to get some momentum pushing in with those 3 buybacks used.
Absolutely, it is this really scary moment of the game now for OG. We're about 5-6 minutes still without those buybacks available. If PSG LGD can find that one team fight, it could be the team fight to win TI in this window of time that they now have presented to themselves.
Ana's gone full in for that butterfly too. As they pick up also an Aeon discount Jeremy, so protected in O. DD did spawn, however, and was killed.
It's also pretty scary for Maybe right now. He only has a 5-second BKB, and he does a lot of damage and will get wrecked by the X-Blade Mail call if he finds it, especially with his BKB now. There's not that many ways to stop him.
It's just all about FY and Chalice, right? Just either saving or just getting into the midst of the fights and not allowing OG to get the picks.
And the smoke, it's going to be dispelled.
Let's get dispelled.
He's in the trees, they're on the high ground, they've got the vision with the Shivas covered, Ana's on his way over. They've got the snowball down, there's the Cannibal Seb, jumps in, he's able to find the call onto Challenge, but Challenge already got the BKB out. The Sunstride's going to be down onto FY, but FY will survive. Seb posts the BKB, he'll try and stand his ground, but Seb, he's going to go down. No buyback on the Axe. As Jerax as well, surrounded by PSG LGD. The Eon disc will proc, but they'll fight through it.
He has to buy back immediately.
Look at these creep track by these Force Spirits. On the bottom room, they have no creeps in the mid lane.
Sienna still holding on to that buyback on Jerax. But as Ben said, the creeps aren't here.
It's back door. Can they breach through it? It's not looking like it right now. Maybe
That-
everyone hitting the same one.
That creep cutting isn't enough to hold OG in the game.
You see No Tails already running to just, he doesn't care. He's going to throw his life for this. So he needs to just keep these creeps out of the base to keep that back door up. He doesn't care if he dies.
Which he certainly will as they get upon him. They find his life. 1 minute now without No Tail and without Seb. Thompson, Anna, and Jerax. The only 3 heroes that can offer their defense during this final minute, this final stand.
Jerax is really trying to hold on to his buyback.
As Chalice split of course up once again. They're finishing off this second set of racks. He's got the Cyclone holding Anna up in the skies. As this rack's on the top lane will fall, the melee rack's gone. PSG LGD playing this carefully. As they'll go down towards the bottom as well. Arme, doppelgangers, he's losing a fair bit of mana into the PL. Still able to shift back into that Morphling if needs be. As OG, they will lose that top racks, but they won't lose the game. PSG LGD are playing it safe. They know how close they are to victory, and they will not throw it away.
And they know that the Roche is probably respawning pretty soon, and it actually is up, so that is that refresher shard. They already have pretty much infinite primal splits up anyway, but they feel very confident here.
They weren't able to de-ward that ward in the mid lane, so it looks like they are going for a Roach fake out.
Check Anna, he's on top of X-Nova. The Ghost Step's going to get a set. Oh, he's in. The call, the MP, the cannon, and F5 is in. He's able to get the save off in time to keep this man alive. Get it off. Chalice is down. Buyback from X-Nova and Chalice. FY with the Invis. Somnus looking to get involved. Pods the BKB to get over the ice roll. They get on top of Seb. Seb's in trouble. Seb's gone. The axe down once again for 90 seconds. As now FY giving them the vision, but they see him. They've got the doppelganger to jump away from the snowball. The snowball over to Thompson. The self-fuels. FY trying to buy time for the rest of LGD to come in. Again, up into the air. Arme straight on top of No Tail. FY will fall. Arme looking towards No Tail. No Tail pops the hand of God, but No Tail beaten down by Arme and Somnus. Chalice gets the primal split off as Anna. He's been left behind in Thompson. He's got to do something incredible in terms of the combo. Can he find the angle? Jerax coming in, keeping Anna alive. Anna with the doppelganger. The deafening blast comes out onto the 2 of them. Anna trying to go in, looking for the kill. Can he find it in time onto X-Nova? He's on top of him, trying to beat him down. Anna again with the doppelganger, now retreating back towards the base. As X-Nova will survive. Jerax back in, the combo. Meatball down onto Chalice, but Chalice is so tanky. Boss the Shiva's gone. He's on top of Jerax. Jerax is gone. Anna as well. Can he really fight back against the Somnus, and X-Nova is so low? As the buyback for Jerax comes in, he's healing Anna back up. That buyback could set them up for the kill on X-Nova. The cold snap down onto the attraction. They find him. Arme, he's out of mana. He's starting to shift into the strength, but he's surrounded. OG, can they find the ball? They can! OG are still in the game. Arme buys back immediately. But now it's PSG LGD's turn to be without 2 of their supports. Seb's going to be back up in 8 seconds.
Oh my god, that buyback from Jerax onto that shrine, being able to save Anna, but Anna also toying with him with that doppel. He sent the illusion. They thought that was the real one. They actually couldn't finish him off, even though they got the thirst vision of him for a second.
With the level 25 talent on the doppelganger, it's
Look at this.
really hard to kill.
Seb.
Yeah.
He's looking straight for the play. Can he find Somnus? He's hunting. Somnus. He's there, Seb. He'll see him. Oh! Doesn't get the call, though, and now Seb. He'll be ruptured. They're looking at him, but Anna, he's straight in on top of Somnus. Somnus puts the BKB. Anna again with the doppelganger. They see Cataclysm coming out. And Somnus still alive. Anna will be able to force him away. They've got the hex. They've got the control. They're on top of him. Can they kill him in time? They can. Chalice got for 2 minutes. And Seb, he's finding, looking for Arme. Big Daddy No Tail gets the penitence out. Only onto the illusion, though. Arme able to waveform up to the high ground. As Arme should be fine here.
Thompson's got the ghost hook. He's got hex
maybe
up soon too.
Oh, the doppelganger Arme's over the trees. Can he hide his way out of this?
No, back. Real one.
Goes for the waveform. Seb tries for the call, but he's already out of there. Nice play from Arme.
And he buys so much time too for his team there. The Brewmaster was dead for 120 seconds, now only 90.
Still a big window for OG. They're only without Jerax for the same amount of time. And that lead the PSG LGD had, it is going down a little bit. Only 4K, 5K at the moment. With these last few fights, obviously the 25s now coming out on OG. Thompson's into the pit.
What a timely DD coming out for him too. I don't think they expected to be taken out as fast. He's almost able to solo it with the help of these summons. And that's That's the real question.
That
There's no way to
feedback.
get this.
That-
No way LGD can
Oh, and the Seb level 25 too. That extra Berserker's Call AoE. It catches people out. They don't expect it.
It does not feel like OG Q-Rex at all.
Yeah. The Berserker's Call now is, I mean, the AoE
It's
is
massive.
really massive now when you have that talent.
It's so hard to play against. Can PSG LGD do it? They've got the Basher now for Somnus. For just a 2K lead with those last big comeback plays from OG. Still 30 seconds without Chalice.
Double Hex coming out now. Thompson and these 5-second BKBs. Yeah, I mean, they were crushing with their
FY.
Being spotted
He's
out.
got the vision. They're on top of him. Thompson, he's in trouble. The nullifier comes out, but he got the ghost walk off as well as the Hex in time. Now, Somnus turns up. The blood runs down. Thompson! He's dead for 100. Has got the buyback available. PSG LGD will certainly look to force it out of them.
FY just with
What
a
a
shadow
smash.
blade. It just, yeah. As soon as they split up, he finds the perfect opportunity there on Thompson.
You got to be careful going out on the map when FY's alive. There's every chance in the world that he's going to be watching you from the trees.
And at this point, I think for Ame, it's actually going to be very worth it for him to actually just try and burn all the mana from the Phantom Lancer so he can't doppelganger all the time. That's causing a huge issue with the team fights. And I see that Chalice is using his Dispel Magic every single cooldown on these Phantom Lancer illusions, but there's still way too many that are causing havoc to this team.
It's too constant. Like that double cooldown being 3 seconds just allows him to always be able to play around a little bit around the brew. They don't really have this crazy AoE when you look at LGD's lineup to just clear out those illusions. It's really a lot based off them just trickling them down slowly with like the Shivas and the Radiants and knowing exactly which one it is.
Yep, he doesn't have the crit talent. Now he does have crit from that Bloodthorn coming out.
It's a lot of damage that Anna can offer to the fights now.
And Brewmaster without BKB, very vulnerable. Cold Snap, Bloodthorn, Berserker's Call. There's a lot of ways that they can prevent him from getting that ult.
He just commits it from the back just to be careful.
Make sure that he can get it off and get some damage in onto the tier 3s. Anna's going to start to try and fight against these Primal Split Brewlings. He'll be able to find one of them. He has been silenced. He'll take down the Wind Panda 2 as well by the looks of it. There's only the Earth Panda prevails. Seb jumps and he gets the call onto the Panda, popping the BKB as well, so they won't kill the Brewlings off. They do force PSG LGD away long enough that Thompson does not have to expend his buyback. Thompson back in the game.
And then they're utilizing the PL very well too by replicating him, sending illusions to get some extra damage on the tower. It's just one Rax left that's holding LGD away from Mega Creeps.
And they're straight out. They're ready with the aggressive play. OG. Thompson, can he find a catch? It's close to having vision onto X-Nova.
Should be able to find X-Nova. He is stalking him. He got sights of him for a second. He was a bit far away though.
Oh, the tornado. It's got him. Thompson drops the combo down upon him. The stun comes out though. Oh, the counterplay. Jarek's in there though with the heal, the tether. Keeping Thompson alive with the Abyssal Blade down. Candace here with the hand of God comes through. Thompson still alive, but Chalice get the primal split out. He's been stunned. Thompson, the cheese is fine. Thompson, he goes down. They get the kill onto the Evoker. No tail. Being chased by Arme. The bash is coming through, but the Blade Mail was already out from Seb. He tries to get the call off. The bash of the Cataclysm isn't enough to find the kills. Anna leading forward. The Bloodthorn onto FY. Gets the kill onto FY. FY bites back straight away. Anna looking towards Somnus again. The doppelganger. Arme on top of Thompson. Thompson being saved by Jarek. Jarek with the tether. Arme turns it into a demo. There's the call. Seb, he catches Arme. Arme dead for 2 minutes. The Hex. They've got Somnus as well. Oh, gee. Double kill for Seb. The clutch buybacks coming into play. Nobody has a buyback available right now. As OG stand with 5 alive on the map, 100 seconds without the Morphling.
This Doppel talent is just destroying LGD. They have no way to actually find Ana. Like Ben said, the Brewmaster's constantly using the Dispel, but it's so hard to find the real PL amongst all these illusions in all this chaos of the fights with tornadoes and chaos meters and everything falling all over the place.
And look at this. The tier 3 tower falling. Anna frontlining it all. What's he scared of? The Blood Bride will come out. Chalice with the Shiva's Guard trying to initiate. But Anna, he's poking, prodding, beating down, and on the side, Thompson jumps in. Chalice gets in with the BKB with the call. Seb, he's got the disable on the Chalice. Do they have the damage? They got on top of the Chalice. He's into the snowball. FY buying time for him, but now he's vulnerable. He gets hexed. He gets Bloodthorn. Chalice plays back. Straight back into the game. Anna trying to find his attention onto Nova. Chalice leading forward. The Tornado going to be off the market. Only catches out the Bloodseeker, but Seb, he's looking for the follow and jumps in. Gets the call. The BKB was out in time. The Bananas on top of it. Now it's Seb's got the blade on FY.
Okay.
With the snowball again. Thompson, Jarax focusing the rags. Thompson gets the Hex up onto X Nova. Seb healed up by Jarax. And is still full health at the moment as the Brewlings are pushed back to the base. OG get the bottom melee racks. And still 30 seconds to play without the Morphling in the game. They move towards the mid lane. OG, can they really get it all here? The mid racks falling. They've taken a full second sets, 15 painful seconds for LGD.
They're gonna keep going. They want to claim their megas.
Another tier 3 falls. OG onto the final set of racks that LGD have left standing. Azana, he gets kicked back. He's separated from the team, but he has the double ganger. He's been ruptured. He needs help, and he needs it now. Jarek in with the tap of the hand of God. Give it that double heal. The relocate as well. Jarek gets him out. As OG will successfully disengage before.
Short break. By the end of this game, it might be a full glare. We'll see. This is the best I can do for now, though.
Remaining. Team Liquid's Dire Team ban.
Man, very nice.
Thank you, Cinder. That's a very kind statement. So
You're very welcome.
Yes.
Yeah. So I just.
Can you please slouch?
I'm also.
Please. Hey, that's my boy. All right, excellent. So yeah, game
This
2.
looks. It's not very comfortable.
We can easily look. Let me bring up the last game real quick. So Lycan, Ember, Phoenix bans, Bat, Beastmaster, DP. So let's actually. I should have looked at 4.
Yeah.
So
I didn't
far,
ban DP this time.
yeah, that's true. That is a flip flop. But so far, the same bans overall. There's Nature's Prophet, which was also taken out. So we're missing an Ember.
Yeah, I do think the Ember will probably get banned. The issue with not banning Ember right now is that one team can first pick it overall, and there's no like go-to counter pick that has been established right now in this meta to worry about the Ember plus Coddle, so which makes it even worse. Then you have to pick Coddle into Ember, which you don't really. Coddle doesn't fare very well against Ember, but he fares very well with him. So you.
Team Liquid's turn to ban.
Problem of. Oh, they banned the Shadow Demon.
I can't say I'm surprised considering how powerful that was in the last game. So that leaves either the Ember like you talked about, or the Phoenix is also a ban that they had last time around. Or you can leave them both. I mean, would you ban any heroes from the last game that other than Shadow Demon? Like Undying, for example, Cinder? Would you ban him here?
No. Just
checking.
5 seconds remaining.
The thing that Liquid have to be thinking here is what trade-off can we set up for ourselves? If we leave Phoenix plus Ember, are they going to first pick Ember and then we have to take Coddle Phoenix, which sucks? Or I mean, it's actually okay. It's not that bad. If you pick cores that work with it, they're going to ban Rubik, so they will start the trade. I think they're going to trade 2 for 1 here. Whichever Fly the Moon first pick. If it's Ember, they take Coddle Phoenix. If it's Phoenix, they take Coddle Ember. I think they take Coddle Ember. Probably. We'll see. But,
yeah, I mean, we've seen this combo. It's actually so dirty. Double slights.
Keeper of the light.
so,
Not a surprise.
like, from Insania's perspective here, if he sets up this 3, let's call it these 3 heroes just a triangle, like any 2 sides are good together. So there's nothing Flight of Moon can first pick where he's like, damn, I can't pick these together. Because Coddle Phoenix they probably would have picked, to be honest, because Taiga loves Phoenix and he can play Coddle himself. And if the Coddle was picked, they could go Ember Phoenix and feel good about that. It's just, it's very solid here. I like that from Liquid in this first phase. Always a big fan of when you set these trades up where there's 3 top tier picks and any 2 you get, you're happy. So nice.
Yep,
Mars.
Very good. Taking the Mars away from Boxy this time around.
Yep.
Also a very high value pick.
Remaining.
So we still have a lot of heroes in the pool, obviously, that
5
were...
seconds remaining.
Pango was the first ban in the second phase, or the only ban in the second phase for Team Liquid, and Visage the other way around. So see if they change things up this time.
I do think...
Has Visage not been picked first phase at all?
No,
Pretty
I don't
strong
think so.
every time I've seen it. Is it more like you can't first pick it because there's too many counters, or reasoning?
I think so. I think there's some... It's very telling as well, right? If you pick that hero early, it says a lot about your strategy. Whereas, I mean, it's not like these picks don't say anything, but I feel like they have more flexibility than a Visage does. Visage is very slow to group up to fight, doesn't really have the best split push threat, doesn't have the best catch threat. So you really want to build a strategy that uses Visage as like the centerpiece, and usually it will be picked 4th or 5th, almost always actually. Now what is very different about these drafts though is that Flight of Moon have a very big AoE combo. This is something Liquid will be very familiar with because they love playing this strategy, which probably also means they have good plans against it. Liquid have very low cooldowns though. So if you're playing against Phoenix Mars and there's a big team fight and you don't get destroyed in it, or even if you lose it by a little bit, you effectively get a power play for the next 2 minutes when Supernova's on cooldown. Your Caudal Ember are just online. Even without Ignis, the Caudal is super useful whenever he has a pairing that truly uses Chakra, and Ember is probably my #1 favorite hero to play Caudal with. There's a couple others that are also exceptionally good, but Ember just takes the cake. It's just so good. They're gonna grab Mirana, favorite of Boxy and Koika, and they can leap to kill the egg. They can get into arena. Usually what you do with egg is you place it inside of the arena or outside, whichever is better, and then the projectiles can't travel through the wall. But since Mirana can both leap in and out, she can find the egg and kill it. So it's actually a very nice idea for Liquid.
Followed up by an Oracle. Now, I'm trying to remember, somebody, probably both teams played this in the past, but one team in particular picked a Huskar not too long ago. Obviously an amazing combo hero with Oracle. It's not like it's it's not like Liquid would deny pick it, right? But do you think that you leave that for a last pick in this scenario, if that's what you wanted to go? Or is it still relatively safe to get 4th Oracle?
If you want Huskar for Flight of Moon, you pick it 4th, because you have the next pick anyway, right? So, like, you're giving very little information away by picking Huskar in the 8th slot, since it's literally, it's a 1 ban difference, right? That's the only extra information that comes out, is 1 more ban. So, if you were hesitant about picking Huskar into the 4 heroes you see, you're not going to pick it at all. But I'm with you. For now, it looks like a pretty good Huskar game. It's a possibility. They have both the Oracle and the Sunray to keep Huskar alive, which is very strong. But Huskar just hasn't seemed very good for a couple months now. Like, teams are not running it very often, and when they do, it never really blows me away. It usually just gets kited and loses, or doesn't even crush its lane as hard as it's supposed to because of 1 rotation or whatever it is. Hasn't really impressed me much, but it's definitely something they could go for. I would agree. Don't know if Iceberg is that good of a Huskar player though. Maybe he is.
You like it?
Yeah, it just doesn't really come to mind. You know, it's like you hear a player's name and you just immediately make this like map in your mind of what heroes they're really good at. And Huskar, I would not place on Iceberg. There's like other heroes that he stands out on. It's like in like his, say, archetype playstyle or whatever. But I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he plays a good Huskar. It's just not something I would think of with this particular player.
Team pick.
Team Liquid. Slardar picked. All right.
Another great friend for Caudal.
So, what are the positions looking like for Team Liquid?
Probably...
Who is the 3?
I think you're flexing Mirana for now, between 2 and 4, and Slardar's 3.
10 seconds.
I want to say almost exclusively, like 9 out of 10 times Boxer will be playing this Slardar. I think they like it as a solution to Mars. It's a really good lane matchup, so maybe they will do different lanes. And the reason he's such a good friend of Caudal is that Slardar sometimes runs into mana problems in fights, but on top of that, you obviously get double Slithering Crush, right? What's the cooldown of that spell on level 4? Let me check. Don't see much Slardar nowadays, so it's 8 seconds. And, you know, that means you crush, you get Chakra, you crush again. I don't think you can fully chain a BKB target, right? Because Chakra cuts off 6. Slithering Crush, or not a BKB target, but prevent a guy from BKBing. And Slithering Crush is a 1-second stun. So you can BKB in between the crushes, but if you don't have BKB, then the Slardar is very powerful.
Alright, well, Luna is going to be the pick, so we've seen this from both teams, of course.
10 seconds remaining.
I mean, I think more times than not, I feel like at least memory serves me, it's with Avenge, but that doesn't look like that's going to work out this game unless you have some crazy. I mean, Phoenix in theory, no, there's no way. Mars is the offlane. I think this is almost set in stone, right? Oracle 5, Phoenix.
You can play mid-Venge. Something OG has done, for example. It's not out of the question.
How long ago? I mean, we've seen Venge at almost every position in the history of Dota, right?
Yeah.
Throughout the history. But how recent are we talking with that?
A week ago. But it's only OG though. Yeah, there's. I don't think I've seen another team play mid-Venge. There might have been one other team or one game or whatever that I didn't watch, but for the most part, teams play Venge as support and sometimes offlane. S4 had one against Flight of Moon the other day. They did not win that game, obviously. Flight of Moon went 2-0 twice. But
honestly,
Venge can
as
definitely
crazy
be
as
cool.
it sounds, Liquid could technically take Venge themselves because they love it. And you have your cores picked already, which you're saying is their flex in theory, just depending on what Flight of Moon goes.
Yes, correct.
So if it looks good, Venge could be your last pick for them.
Could be for both teams, absolutely. I do think what Flight of Moon needs in their lineup is a way of pushing towers, though. Like, you're set up so hard to keep this key hero alive that wants to group up and push. So I think to mind for their strategy would be like Necrophos or Dragon Knight or the Huskar you mentioned would be nice still. I know you're into Slardar, it's a bit dangerous, but you have 2 purges from the Oracle and you're gonna buy a BKB yourself, so it still is a possibility if they want to try to push this one down. Because if you don't, like, what does your lineup really have, right? Like, you don't have any great catch, low cooldown fighting lineup, whereas Liquid, they want to run at you and fight you. They have Coddle Ember, they have Slardar, Mirana, just tons of stuns, activity. The wave clear is good when you have Coddle almost by default, unless you really pick bad wave clears or take care of that.
They recently ran a Luna Viper mid, obviously, in that case. That seems a bit weird. I don't know how that would work this game, but throwing it out there. I mean, that
there's no incentive to pick Viper here. I think you don't know the matchup
that you're really.
Yeah, exactly. It is. Yeah, for sure.
Well,
you're not
Bash.
breaking anything. You don't know the matchups. Yeah, break. Bash of the Deep. Sick.
Very important. All right. Well, like you said, Flight of Moon gets the first crack at this, and Team Liquid can choose what position their Mirana essentially is.
There's actually a bit of trivia there, if you like your trivia with Slardar. His spell names got changed, I want to say 2 years ago in Dota 2, or maybe a bit more. They used to be called the same forever. And they got changed because people were like, Slardar's spell names are boring. That was literally it. Nobody was really in doubt. There's the Dragon Knight, by the way. They were literally called Sprint, Slithering Crush, Bash, and Amplify Damage.
That was my favorite name in the entire game. I was actually so
I loved Amplify Damage. I still call it
Amplify
Amp.
Damage. Yeah, I agree. Corrosive Haze just doesn't have the same ring to it. All right, final pick is a TA, so even more minus armor. So they have a crazy Roche lineup now. Mirana will in all likelihood be the support, I would assume. I mean, we've seen... How long ago was a Slardar 4 occasionally? Is that possible as well?
It's very unlikely. It's very long ago. I'm pretty sure it's Taiga Mirana. Yeah, love the TA last pick. There's no bad matchups in lane. He's either going to face Dragon Knight, Mars, or Luna, and he can win against all 3. So he'll get a lot of farm go jungle, synergize with Slardar with minus armor. Actually, some synergy with Coddle too. You have insane Roche potential with double meld. It goes so fast. Also, getting extra refraction is nice. This is the kind of lineup you want to play Coddle with. I just love playing Coddle in games where I feel like if I go to basically any of my teammates, it helps them so much. But then when I play pubs and first pick Coddle, we end up with some random stuff that can't use Chakra, and then I feel pretty sad because it's such a big part of the hero. But this is a great
But
Coddle
he has
draft.
Ignis Fatus no matter what, Synderen. Always good.
He does?
Always excellent.
That's what you gotta hold on to.
Unlike this Dragon Knight set, which is hideous. That is just awful. My god.
Do you know,
in one of the
I
caches?
think it's decent.
Synderen? Was that voted in one of the caches? Need to look that one up. For sure.
Yeah, it's decent.
Alright. I
Why are you
could be
mad-
wrong.
why are you so
Maybe
mad
the
about that?
maybe the poly limit on Dragon Knight is super low because that just looks like it's from
We have different
Minecraft
tastes
or
in
something.
cosmetics quite a lot.
Yeah, you're a big Minecraft fan for sure. I mean,
Oh, absolutely. Yes, I love
the Mirana
Minecraft. I
mount.
play it all the time.
Mirana mount is excellent, Cinder. Has nothing to do with the fact that it's a Dota cinema.
The Mirana was from our Captain's Draft tournament.
Right.
Well, how many years ago was that
Blast
now?
from the past.
5 years ago. It was the last.
only 5?
I think so. It was 2015. It was the last Dota 2 tournament where creators got to put in items connected with the tournament.
No. That's not true. That is not technically true.
There's
Draft 3 technically had some stuff. It was a chest and stuff. But it was the last one that had a compendium.
Yeah, there was some chest.
I believe.
And a directly attached set. You had a chest, right? Has there ever been a tournament since that had just a single set connected with it? I don't know.
Not sure. I think we can easily say that was the last third-party tournament that has been profitable in Dota 2. So we'll just go with that.
But actually, the Mirana wasn't even the set, right? This was an extra thing. This was the mount, and it came... Did this one come with the compendium? It did, yes. Right? This came with the compendium, and we had a Lich item, and then the full Juggernaut set was the standalone set. So yeah, this was a compendium piece, actually. That is true. So...
Good old days.
Still holds up though. Looks wonderful. What a great mount.
Wonderful. So whose lineup do you like overall?
I really like last game I said it was pretty even for me. I like Liquid more in this game. I think the lanes are going to work very nicely for them. I like the flow of the strategy they're running. To me, Flight of Moons... It's like the strategy, it's not really doing it justice to say it has one play, but I think you know what I mean when you look at the picks, right? Like, they need to group up around Dragon Knight and playing team fights because their catch is limited, their cooldowns are very big, Eclipse, Dragon Form, Egg, and Arena, whereas the other team has Slardar Stun, Ember Chains, TA is online all the time, Mirana. There's not a single long cooldown on the Radiant except Coddle ulti. Like, everybody else is just ready to go all the time. And I love that in this patch when you can draft a lineup like that where the lanes also work, and on top of that they even have good matchups. It's not just okay, the lanes are actually going to be nice. I think Coddle Ember will be happy here against Mars Oracle. The TA will free farm mid against DK, most likely.
Liquid gets 3 out of 4 bounties. So good job to Bo3 getting a nice Slitherine crush. Wait, was that always called... Was it just Crush? Or was it actually still...
No, it was called Slitherine Crush. It was definitely called Slitherine Crush. That was the one spell name he had.
Oh, the arrow connects thanks to the setup from Bo3. Decently duration as well. B-Tune taking heavy damage. Bo3 again with the Crush. There's going to be a death one way or the other, but the question is who gets first blood? Okay, nobody died, Synderen. Someone's going to die, I swear.
Eventually.
At some point this game.
Yes.
I mean, has there ever been a game of Dota where that hasn't happened? No.
There's been a game of Dota at pro level where a player didn't die or get an assist, and there's only one game I remember. It was in Dota 1. Merlini played a game of Medusa, and he ended the game 0-0-0, and I think it was 30 minutes long. It was with, I think it was...
Was he playing Lycan?
Medusa. It was Chaos Int or Nirvana Int. He farmed for 30 minutes and then they won. He never got involved. I remember that. I don't think that's ever happened in Dota 2.
Oh, bottom lane, Mickey is taking a ton of damage, and that's going to be your first blood. I was right. Somebody did die, but it's for Flight of Moon's favor this time.
Did not think they were going to get a kill that early, before they're even level 2. Mickey just overestimating how tanky he is. There was no spear involved. It was just flat out God's Rebuke plus Fortune's End. And that's a great start for General in the Mars.
How do you skill the Ember Spirit in this lane, knowing that Flame Guard can be dispelled immediately? Do you just hold on to your point
4-4-0.
Not even skill it? Okay.
And I think you go 4-4-0 just because, again, the synergy with Coddle, right? Whenever Ember gets these levels up in Slight Chain, you make Coddle so much stronger as a teammate. Flame Guard, it's nice to cut the cooldown on Flame Guard, but I would say in most cases in this lane, you don't skill that Flame Guard unless you have to. And it's kind of a no-brainer in this one, right? So. Oh, good harass again coming in.
Illuminate comes in, clips a little hot dance. Mickey, though, a bit of trouble. General has the spear, and it's going to be enough to take him out. So that is a second kill for Flight of Moon in this bot lane. Insania is going to be chased down next to his tier 1. Ooh, not quite enough damage from General. Nice attempt on the God's Rebuke, but I'm just sitting at DHP. Oh, the spear again.
He's taking full advantage of the Aura Venom, by the way. This is a great item for Mars when you're playing against a melee hero in lane. Like I said, was not expecting them to get these kills. It's just really well done on Flight of Moon's part. Getting off to this head start. So very important for
bash into the arrow, but always want to fly. He's going to get leapt on. No range there, and the salve's going to keep him safe. The courier has come as well. nice attempt here. I mean, this is a very aggressive lane for Liquid, so... I mean, what do you think of this lane as a whole before we get to the other ones?
The Slar Mirana is... Just the lane matchup here is fine for them, but I worry for them when Phoenix gets level 3, which happened just now. Like, Slardar doesn't like playing against Fire Spirits. It's the primary reason that Flight of Moon put the lanes this way is they wanted to just ruin Slardar's time. The hero needs to hit, and getting this massive attack slow, it's 80 attack on level 2. You just can't get bash procs reliably. You're gonna see now Bo3 has to yield, like he can't fight back. He's basically losing all his health here.
He does have some wand charges, so stay safe now.
It's not good though. Yeah.
Knob after the fact.
I might have to eat my words a little bit. I thought the laning stage for Liquid would go better than it has. I thought this top lane would also do a bit better, but the Phoenix has definitely done a great job here, threatening Bo3 so much. He's falling very far behind actually already in these lanes. They're gonna try.
Another bash, or another crush into arrow, but the damage has been done. What about the mid lane? I mean, TA against Dragon Knight sounds amazing for Quakefa. Is that not like a god tier matchup?
It's pretty even in the start, and then TA just wins because she can jungle faster, right? Oh, Bo3's dead. They're gonna trade 1 for 1. But yeah, there's tons of TA lanes like this, where you're like, yeah, on paper it's fine, you know. They're laning against TA can draw, but then this happens, right? And Dragon Knight can't match this speed. He can't go and just farm the side camp every time he pushes out the wave. He has mana problems, so he needs to get... First of all, you need lots of levels in Breathe Fire, and then the access to your camp is also... It's more inconvenient, because he's dire. It's easier to do this on Radiant. Yeah, so Quakefa will absolutely pull ahead. And you need to deal with these damn annoying side blades all the time. I hate laning against this hero. It's one of my least favorite heroes ever to lane against. No matter what I play, really, just laning against side blades is just so annoying.
Especially as a melee. Very, very difficult.
Yeah.
The fact that it's pure damage adds into your bottom lane. Aloha Dance. Takes some damage. Slight's not enough to finish him off, but... Both members of Flight of Moon are extremely low right now. Illuminate comes in, it will connect on general, but not a whole lot.
Yeah.
But now we're starting to see the power of this lineup.
Absolutely. You know, you're buying this raindrop on Mars. The question is just how long is it going to last? Like, there's some heroes, it's one of those damn it if you do, damn it if you don't situations where if you don't have this raindrop, you're very susceptible to dying. But if you do, the enemy team's just going to burn it off you, right? Every Illuminate, every Slide Chains, you're going to start losing these raindrops really fast. Whereas sometimes you can buy raindrops against a lane where it's going to be crucial in key moments, but here it could just end up fading away, and then you spend 200 gold on that. Which is very annoying. So, yeah. Another part of Coddle being as amazing as it is with this kind of hero, just the constant harass. Gonna rotate here, Aloha Dance.
Aloha Dance mid. Iceberg's already in his dragon form. Hasn't really done any damage to the tower as of yet.
It's hard for him to do against TA. It's just pushing out the wave.
The one good thing about being in dragon form is at least you have some form of ability to take off.
Insania bot.
To a degree.
He's in trouble.
Light chains. Insania get rooted for now. Mickey is going to force everybody off though. Insania. Illuminate is coming. There's a Searing Chains. It clips him. Goes down to the grave as well. General is able to spear away, but...
Yeah, they're losing this bottom lane now.
That's after getting first blooded too.
They got 2 kills.
Top lane, Cinder and Bo3. He's on the run.
Oh, he's gonna live here barely.
Tango, yeah, 40 HP.
Yeah, he's the sacrificial hero in this Liquid draft right now. He's not having a good time, but all the other 4 heroes, I would argue, are having a great time. Taiga's level 5.5 on the 4 Mirana. Oh, still harassing Bo3 here. Oh, he hit an arrow. He got always want to fly with a ward.
Damn.
Easy kill. And yeah, imagine this bottom lane if they didn't get in this early pressure, where Flight of Moon did a great job. Without that early start, man, this would have been miserable for Mars. At least he's still hanging in there, but it's only going to get harder. He has to spend all this gold on Raindrop, and he has to spend gold on Salve, and it's just, yeah, it's a problem.
Oh, an Arcane Ring for me.
Insult to injury. The only limiting factor for Ember right now is honestly cooldown. Like, he could just spam out as much as he wants almost if he didn't have cooldowns.
No doubt about it. No, he will be going for the phase boots on that Ember Spear. Mid lane, it looks like we're going to see Aloha Dance get dropped by Koifa. Iceberg was not there in time. Does have the Arcane Rune, so look for him to get as much value out of this Dragon form as possible. As he pops it right now. Has to be careful with the side blades, of course. That damage over time. Expelling the refraction. Very useful. But
still untouched
really
on the
can't
tower.
push these waves. I mean, yeah, the waves are just being pushed so much faster from Koifa. He even has time to go to the jungle to get some extra farm. Back in the lane to prevent any damage coming from Iceberg. Does come in now. Will probably get a couple right clicks, but for a Dragon Knight, this is your second Elder Dragon form. You're not really getting amazing value, but it is on a lower cooldown thanks to the Arcane Rune. Now, what kind of kill potential do you have? Is arrow? Does he just have to hit an arrow for this to be a kill, or is it just too difficult?
Yeah, probably. Even with an arrow, it might not be a kill, and I don't think it's necessary. Like, there's other and better plays on the map. If Mirana wants to move off top, you can go and threaten bottom, slide chains into arrows, super easy to land. You can even just run around and farm some jungle, some big creeps. As long as the lanes are as stable as this, it's not a big deal. Yeah, Boxy isn't too happy to, I guess, but his lane has been really hard, and he has the same as Mars, so it's not even, you know, it's not even that bad. Tiger might end up going Luna hunting.
As if Mickey didn't have enough mana regen. He has a Royal Jelly now.
Oh god.
So it's it's gonna be never ending, it seems.
And that's really good on TA, by the way, the jelly.
They're gonna go for the
Farming
outpost,
Ancients.
but Flight of Moon, yeah, they see Insania, and they're just gonna... So, it'll be a 1-for-1 for each respective side. As for the bounties, Liquid might have the better of this if they go get these top.
Yeah, Mirana will get... Yeah, they'll get 3 out of 4 again, right? So... It's just, like, the strategy of this game, Liquid are just getting so much more out of the map. They're already beginning to farm Ancients with their TA. It was a double stack. Their Dire hasn't stacked that yet, even though they have Luna, and potentially Dragon Knight on level 12 that can farm it with Dragon form. Their lanes are going very well. There's no threat to their towers.
Arrow connects on Mars, but there's Iceberg revealing himself from invisibility, but the reinforcements from Liquid are here. And there's the Ignis Fatus onto Mars inside his own arena. He's going to pin Insania to the walls. See who gets the kill first. Looks like Insania will go down, but it's going to be a trade, a 1-for-1, and one that Liquid will be more than happy with. Looks like Oracle is next on the list. The chase continues as Mickey looking for Always Wanna Fly. Does have Egg, but not going to expend it.
Yeah, he wouldn't have got it off. The TA could have run up and just hit the Supernova together with Ember, and they would have managed to get it anyway. Even with a Fire Spirit on Mickey, he knows he's dead, so he saves the key cooldown there.
This is the third Elder Dragon form now, Syndra. And the tower is at 1536 HP, right? Like you said, these stacks are available for the taking. On the Radiant side, I mean, these are insane. Koifa is going to go super ham right now.
Under attack.
As I believe, yeah, he has Deso already coming to him. So
They can Roche so fast. He has level 4 meld and Corrosive Haze, with Caudal giving him mana for the meld.
That's a lot of amplified damage, Syndra. Quite a bit.
Oh my god, he's so rich. Wait, how many CS does he have? He has more than 10 CS per minute. 125.
125? I mean, a lot of them neutrals, but still, yeah.
It's crazy. It's very, very high.
So what is Flight of Moon's strategy here? Like, do you just try to gank Koifa? I mean, as difficult as that may seem.
I feel like you need to make a team move and execute some sort of team fight, but the problem is Luna is going in the farming build, so they don't have Eclipse. Like, for your Phoenix and your Mars to feel like they have a place in the game, there needs to be a big scale fight. But Liquid just haven't really given them a big team fight at all. It's just becoming these like skirmishes where they poke and prod. Now Aloha Dance might almost die here actually to the game. He's just gonna back off.
Oh,
Taiga with a snipe.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Unintended.
Long range arrow. Was it? Didn't he mean? Well, I think that arrow was intended for him.
I mean, Phoenix could have tanked it for sure. Probably didn't know that his teammate was so low. Either way, damage was done to this tier 1 tower. And I mean, if you're Liquid, pretty sure you don't even feel... I mean, this is actually a good question, as it looks like there might be a potential gank here on Boxy in the top lane. There's the blink being revealed for the Dragon Company. Arena is used into the spear. This will be a kill. No reinforcements here as of yet. But on Liquid side, are you just happy as long as they're not taking towers? You just keep farming. You keep increasing your net worth.
Liquid has played this game a lot both times, and they have played the other lineups draft as well. So I think they have a very good understanding of where they stand in this game and what the next goal should be. Now Dragon Eye is going to try to push bottom, but guess what? There's a level 4 Illuminate Caudal sitting here, so they have to dive.
Yeah.
And that can end really poorly.
Oh boy. Double TP. Ignis Fatis has come down, but it's not very well placed. It'll keep Insania alive, though, which I guess is needed. Iceberg.
Sometimes you miss every spell,
Forced to run
but
away.
they defended the tower for now, at least.
Yes, that is the important factor. Iceberg's dragon form is about to end.
Is under attack.
And they might
But this is
get the
that
power.
team move, right? There's the team move.
Radiant structures.
Liquid felt forced to drop the Ignis. Unfortunately for Insania, it was not a very good one, so now they're going to yield and keep this up. So finally, Flight will get on the board here with a tower, but they have to bring 4 heroes, and I think it's the right move to make. I think you have to do something like this, and maybe had to do it earlier. It's kind of like he hit a brick wall mid with Dragon Knight for 5 minutes, and this move could have maybe happened earlier. But now they at least get it done. Still a very big
It'll be a trade of
disadvantage.
towers, though.
Yeah.
Mickey takes one on his own, so that's obviously not a favorable trade.
They're going full minus armor. He's rushing Solar Crest. They just want to... Wait, what's their total? Okay, let's do a little bit of math here. So, let's see. So, Corrosive Haze, let's say they're maxed out. Corrosive Haze is 18 on level 3. Melod is 8, so that's 26. Then you have the Deso, that's 34. Wait, did I say 26? So 32. And then you have Solar Crest on top, which is another -8. So that's 40 minus armor they can do to either Roche or a hero.
If you get a Stygian and you hold on to this game till 60 minutes, that is 50. I think that's their strategy.
Right.
Don't win yet. Do it in
They could get an
style.
Orb of Corruption, of course.
That's true.
Orb of Destruction, sorry. Orb of Destruction. Could
Well, you
help.
can't hold both, though. Right, that is kind of the issue. But if you layer it with somebody else and attacking the same target, then sure.
I am not expecting a 60-minute game here, but Orb of Destruction is definitely possible.
Yeah.
So that would be
that is
even
more reasonable. I will look at
crazy stuff. That's I want to see the Roche this game. I really want all of them to do it together with the max minus armor they have. That would be sick.
Yeah.
It's crazy how fast it's gonna go.
And Tier 1 tower looks to be what Liquid wants. Of course, it's not their entire team. Unlike Flight of Moon, which they have 4 members here right now trying to defend. I mean, this just feels very snowball. I mean, 7k net worth lead, 6k now for Liquid. This is an extremely early stage. Here we go with the Roche, but this will probably be contested. Always Want to Fly does have the egg. It's only level 1 right now. Moonlight Shadow, Slight, doing some good damage. Arrow does connect onto Mars. Roche is not going... Oh, Ignis Fatis on the majority of Flight of Moon. A really good zoning ult. Egg is used. In addition, as Aegis is taken now, but the egg actually goes off. It connects on 2. Eclipse is more than enough to take out Ember Spirit. So Liquid looks like they're going to lose at minimum 2 heroes. Insania's give it a second. Here comes the crush. The buybacks are here from Ember Spirit. Liquid need to win this fight, and Iceberg and company need to run away. Aloha Dance, very low on HP, uses a very early ultimate on Iceberg, who gets arrowed. Does blink out. That half HP though, and they have the chase. They have more than enough. It did cost them a buyback, but again, Aegis their way, still intact.
And that wasn't even clean from Liquid, to be honest. They miscommunicated a little bit. Insania started hitting the egg, then he was like, okay, this is not happening. And Mika was like, no, I'm coming back in. And then they both got caught with the egg on 1 HP. If they committed to it together the whole time, they clean house here. Or if neither of them went for it, they also would have cleaned house. Because like the Supernova being used on top of that Ignis, job well done. You could have backed out. Like the enemy team was stuck in place and you weren't. So like regardless, it's a different judgment call to make, but you're happy with the outcome regardless. If you're Liquid, you got the Aegis on the TA.
Oh, Aloha Dance, goodbye. Nice knowing you. Finally, this Tier 1 tower will go down to the right click of Quickba.
Middle tower has fallen.
And yeah, this ain't looking pretty for Flight of Moon. Unlike the previous game where we thought that they were actually in control, and then a few mistakes, which Liquid capitalized on, helped turn the tide. But this time it just feels like all Liquid.
Yeah. I love their strategy too. It's such a good lineup.
I mean, it's old school. Yeah, old school minus armor strat. Maybe not the exact same heroes every time. Usually there's Avenge involved in this. Still cool to see after all these years. Iceberg working towards his BKB. I mean, what do you go for if you're Flight of Moon? They have the initiation. They have double Blink Dagger, the DK and Mars. So you have initiation. Always want to fly. Obviously, the egg working with the arena. Amazing synergy. You can keep people alive with the Aloha Dance, but where exactly is your damage? It's supposed to be Luna, but it's just too early for her to be really that online.
I feel like talking about the items is... I would rather just focus on the plays first, and if you feel like you can't make the plays without said items, then either you misplayed the game very badly or your draft is just too weak against this type of strategy. Like when you have this strong team fight and it's 15 minutes into the game, now it's 19, but you're struggling to even initiate and get anything done with your ults, you have a problem strategically. I think rather than waiting for items, now that they have this Mantle, I think you go fight. Like, the longer you wait, the harder it's going to get. You're going to get picked off. You're going to lose more map control. I know you're fighting against Aegis. There you go. There's an initiation.
Mars holds onto 2 with the Phoenix Egg. They're doing a good job of zoning with it. They find the Coddle, but that might be it for now, and he's going to buy back into the game, in fact. And here comes Dragonite getting destroyed with this minus armor. Holy Jesus. He just disappeared. That is not a Dragonite anymore. Luna, in the meantime, pops the Manta. Looks like she will get netted, and that brings her to her death as well. A triple kill for Koikva.
Yeah.
I mean, if they have the buyback, I mean, they didn't even need it, honestly.
The thing is, they got crushed, but it was still... I'm not sure if that was the exact jump, but it was the right thing to do to look for something. It just... The coordination wasn't perfect because they jumped Coddle and Ember, but they didn't have any follow-up stun on the Ember to get him killed in the arena, so all they got was a Coddle and they used a lot of spells, and now you're in this position where you can get turned on. If they somehow found an opening on the Ember or another high-value hero than just the Coddle, this fight could have gone very well, and it was the kind of thing they needed to try. You can't just accept being dominated on the map like this all the time. You have to take a risk, and if that was a low chance play, so be it. You gotta play for something.
Yep.
And arrow on Dragonite again. Iceberg.
A crush onto 2 heroes. Boxy and company just tearing through Flight of Moon. And this tier 3 tower is a goner. I mean, Aegis is still intact. BKB is almost online again for Koikva, and it is the 9-second version. Arrow. Oh, I thought he dodged it, but actually he did not. Manta did not help. Down goes your Luna, and down goes Flight of Moon in a mega stomp in Game 2. Actually really surprised that after that performance in Game 1 that they come out like this, but Liquid is just playing out of their minds right now.
It's what I was talking about after Game 1, right? Like, you've won 4 games in a row in this tournament, you've looked pretty hot, and now you face your first loss. What are you going to do? Are you going to make draft adaptations? Are you going to keep playing the same kind of style? And they made a massive draft adaptation. They played 5 different heroes in Game 1. They played a totally different style. I feel like in Game 1 they were way more fight hungry, they had stronger laning, more tempo, and this game they're kind of in a way maybe overcompensating on the big team fight aspect and less on the tempo for their players' play styles, right? The players that this team have are very explosive and can play super fast. You have cores like General and Iceberg. You know, get them in there. If it's a good meta for fighting, I think a team like this should look to fight a lot. But yeah, Liquid just had their number completely after Game 1. That's how it goes sometimes. Sometimes one close game turns into a complete stomp second game. We've seen it a lot of times. And Flight just looked a bit broken.
Yeah, in terms of the laning stage, as we're going to see Iceberg get ganked here. Amplify damage, Desolator. Oh, he's done.
The arrow didn't even get there.
That was their challenge on Dota++. It's a secret.
Oh, look how Mickey. Nice turn.
Secret app created just for pro players. Kill him before the arrow connects. There's the Ignis Fatus. And again, the right click from Koikva is just decimating everybody. Double kill for him. Wow.
Oh, snap.
Minus armor is good. So it seems.
Yeah. That was
really
just
well executed on Liquid.
Yeah.
I feel like I was going to mention this, Cinder. I don't know what you would change necessarily, but it felt like, do you do something different with DK in the mid lane? Do you, like, what can you do?
Yeah.
It feels like he's such a...